Hello everyone and welcome to episode 5 of my playthrough of The Beast Within, a Gabriel Knight mystery. So, to recap a little bit about what happened last episode, we were finally got to talk with Commissar Lieber, and we copied the name Grossberg from the big map that was on his wall, called them, and got some inside information about some of the people potentially from the club here. We went here, by the aid of a cuckoo clock, got into the basement of this club where there were lots of trophies from endangered species. So something fishy is going on around here. We were unfortunately discovered by Fancel, which we had a conversation with here. He does not seem like a very friendly guy. And that was when we left off. So let's get started. So let's see. So we are here, and we have. If we look at this here, we got Von Glover. That's the Baron that invited us for the club here. We got his business card.
Baron Friedrich von Glauer. He lives in the Perlacker district.
Yeah. Perlacker district. Good. Maybe we can actually go there now. Okay. Perlack, there we go. Go and have a chat with the friendly Baron. There he is.
Entschuldigung, Baron. Gabriel Knight ist hier, Sie zu sehen.
Lassen Sie bitte ihn herein.
Oh, how barony he is with his half
Gabriel,
wine.
What a pleasure to see you so soon. Bringen Sie uns bitte ein zweites Glas Wein.
Hope I'm not taking advantage of your kind invitation.
Well, my invitations are meant to be kept. Come, warm yourself. I hope you like wine. I got hooked on the grape when I lived in France.
It's fine, Baron.
Call me Friedrich.
All right.
Good. I like to have things settled. You were going to tell me how you found the club and about your hunting in America.
Oh, there must be more interesting subjects.
No doubt. You are a man who runs deep, I suspect.
On my off days.
I find nothing more stimulating than a new companion. A fresh mind with treasures to reap.
He is onto him.
New thoughts like rare birds uncovered and examined, one by one. It is only when people know each other well that they run out of things to say.
May we never be so cursed.
Okay, we can talk to him now. Let's see.
Are you from Munich originally?
No, I was raised abroad. But both of my parents had deep Bavarian roots.
Really? Where abroad?
All over. France, England, South America, North America. I love to travel.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me about your family.
The Von Glovers? We are not nearly as old a line as the Ritters, I'm afraid.
Do you have a wife? Children?
Good God, no.
You sound like someone else I know.
I've been picking up on certain similarities between us. Do you have relatives? How fares the Ritter family tree?
I'm the last.
I too. I suppose all trees eventually stop bearing fruit.
Yeah, he is He is onto him.
How'd you end up here?
My circumstances were probably not much different than your own. I wanted to return to the land of my ancestors, and so I did. Which reminds me, you were going to tell me how the Ritter family ended up in America.
My grandfather. He left the family and went to New Orleans.
But you chose to return to the family. Why?
If you want to know the truth, I didn't have a hell of a lot of choice.
Yes. I understand.
Well, it's probably a good idea to keep the fact that he's a Schattenjäger secret from this guy. I'm probably also sure you get a vibe that there's something off about him. He's very interested in Gabriel.
Tell me about the club.
I'd prefer it if you formed your own opinions. To be perfectly frank, I could use a fresh perspective. That's one reason why I invited you to join us.
How about telling me about the other club members?
Ah, my select few. You find them valuable friends once you get to know them.
Did most of them come to the club through you?
For the most part. Though occasionally, fate throws one into my lap.
I am such a baron. Let's hear more about the club members.
All of the men at the club are from wealthy German families, I gather.
Yes, but it's not quite that simple. I am a believer in self-determination. Each man at the club must also be personally accomplished and gifted.
Really?
Absolutely. For example, von Eigner owns one of Germany's biggest meat butchering plants, and he runs an elite private brewery. It's true he inherited the business, but he's expanded it a great deal.
A butchery. Huh. And the others?
Price is recognized as one of the best trial lawyers in Germany. He seems pleasant enough in person, but you would be surprised how vicious he can be in a courtroom.
And Henneman?
Is with the government. He has a prominent position and is an acknowledged contender for higher office.
Really? How high?
There have been newspaper reports that predicted the highest.
That would be convenient for his friends, wouldn't it?
Such men are an asset to everyone who knows them.
And Baron von Zell?
Von Zell's family owned the majority of stock of one of Munich's oldest banks.
In his own personal accomplishments?
Gar is a quite promising young man. He was always top of his class, the best at anything he did.
I keep picking up a past tense here.
You haven't seen him at his best. He's going through a rough spot lately, I'm afraid.
Yeah, what could be up with him? Yeah, let's just bring it on. The basement.
There's something about the club I don't quite understand.
Yes?
I get the feeling you're not your average, ordinary hunting club.
No?
Well, that room in the basement, for instance.
I gather you've been exploring.
Well, the door was open.
It doesn't matter. You are right. Yes. The Königlich Bayerische Hofjagdloge is more than just a hunting club. We share certain philosophical beliefs as well.
Okay, let's hear more about that.
I'm curious about these philosophical beliefs of yours. Can I talk you into enlighten me?
Are you really interested?
Yes.
I'm glad. You seem to be the sort of man who would appreciate our way of thinking. The men at the club and I, it is our desire to reconnect with our true physical nature.
Go on.
Think of it this way. What makes men different from any other species on this planet? Civilization, of course. Oh, it's not a bad thing, human society. But it has come at a terrible price. Through civilization, man has lost his physical self, his sensory power, his instinct, if you will. He became fat and lazy, a dulled, rusted blade.
And those are my good days.
Picture a beast in the woods. It is alert. It smells. It sees. It feels everything around it. It can tell where some other animal has passed days before, where food is to be found. It can sense danger. You put civilized man in the woods, and he's comparably deaf, dumb, and blind.
I hear you, but isn't some of that related to physical makeup? Our senses of smell and hearing aren't as sharp as those of wolves, for example.
That's just it. Surely men once had those abilities. As generations of city dwellers failed to use their most acute senses, genetically they started to fall away, the way limbs wither when not exercised. I believe we can hold this degeneration. And not only hold it, but recover that which was lost.
It's an interesting concept. Do you have any proof that such powers are recoverable?
Proof? I felt things myself. Keener hearing, sharper smells, but documentable proof? That is harder. To what extent we can recover these primal abilities, and what some of those abilities might prove to be, that is what we still struggle to find out.
You're very convincing, Friedrich. There's no doubt that the potential is fascinating.
So they like coming out in nature and becoming their primal selves.
How does one go about trying to get back in touch with one's physical self? Does it have something to do with hunting?
You are right. That's part of it, yes. Man is, or was, a predator. But unfortunately, he was too smart for his own good. He figured out how to raise his prey in pens. Hunting helps us get back in touch with our predator soul.
Do you? Get back in touch with your predator soul?
Some of us have been more successful at tapping into that than others.
What did you mean by that?
So how has this philosophy affected the men in the club?
The men at the club are all excellent specimens who have used the philosophy to increase their success and power.
So your woods becomes corporate headquarters, your prey the competition.
Some of the technique can be applied, yes. When the senses are primed, one can pick up all sort of feedback that is normally lost in the haze.
Speaking hypothetically, do you think it would be possible to take this philosophy too far?
Funny that should occur to you so quickly. It hadn't occurred to me for the longest time. I hope not.
Okay, the Black Wolf.
Have you ever heard of the Black Wolf?
I think he
I'm so
has.
sorry.
It's all right.
Gunther! Würden Sie das bitte reinigen?
You barely got me.
Are you all right?
Yeah.
Danke. I feel so clumsy. Danke, Gunther. What was it you asked again?
I asked if you'd ever heard of the Black Wolf.
Of course, you did. I suppose you just startled me.
Suspicious.
These killings in the papers. They've really got me derailed.
Any particular reason?
People getting slaughtered. Children. In broad daylight. Nature can seem cruel, but it is orderly. It does not waste or torture. Not like this. And with the club espousing what we do, our philosophy does not support this kind of thing.
I'm sure that's true.
I apologize. It's just, I am concerned that we are not put in the best of light under these circumstances. To promote hunting when these atrocities in the papers. You must understand, the nature I promote is not a murderer. When a healthy beast kills, it takes only what it needs to survive, and it does so respectfully. It is only the man who is capable of such a pointless slaughter. I'll be glad when this has passed. I'm sure the other men feel the same way.
Okay. Well, it was a little bit suspicious, And yeah, he's definitely a character, definitely onto something. And this fascination with Gabriel as well. I think this is very, very dangerous. Let's see about his mask.
That's a great mask. Mind if I take a look?
Be my guest.
Interesting. Is it African?
No, Indian. I picked it up in Brazil.
Von Glauer says it's Indian. Von Glauer.
Yeah, it's Indian. I just want to put my tape recorder in it.
Von Glauer.
Yeah, it's Indian.
Von Glauer.
There's nothing I can do about it. No.
I'm not sure what else to say.
Let's leave for now.
Well, I hate to say it, but I should go.
It's been a rare pleasure.
Yeah. I've been kind of isolated over here myself.
I'll see you at the club tonight, won't I?
Oh, right.
And perhaps you'd like to come over for a drink after that? It will give us a chance to talk some more about the others.
I'd like that. Thanks.
Watch out, Gabriel. Let him sit there and be even more barony. Knight. Maybe it's already time to go to the club. Let's see. Let us see. Yep.
Good night.
And you, Herr Price?
Herr Preis.
You look a little wet.
Oh, I was visiting a friend nearby, and I thought that I should take a shower before the others arrived. I was a bit automatic.
He's taking a shot without even offering one.
Well, how thoughtful.
Let's have a little talk with Herr Preis. He seems distraught.
Herr Price?
Yes.
Okay, let's hear what he has to say.
Baron von Glau mentioned that you're a lawyer.
Yes. And fortunately for me these days, I have enough money to where I only have to take those cases which interest me. I enjoy my leisure time.
And what do you do with your leisure time?
I entertain.
Okay.
Probably a dumb question, but what sort of entertaining do you do?
Do you like women, Herr Knight?
I've been known to.
I adore them.
Oh God.
You might call it an obsession. The stalk, the dance, the bait, the hook.
And what do you do once you've hooked him?
Oh, you know. You're quite the pleasurist yourself.
What a
Or
creep.
have I misled you?
You're probably just getting a whiff of the past, Herr Price.
Yeah, this game is from 1995.
What do you think of the club philosophy?
It works, doesn't it?
Does it?
We're all animals. I deny it.
So you don't believe in suppressing anything?
Why would I want to suppress my urges? If your body wants something, it must be natural.
Well, what if you get the natural urge to rip someone's throat out?
Well, fortunately, my instincts run to pleasure. Of the equally sticky but less fatal kind.
Oh God.
Well, what about those whose instincts are fatal? Shouldn't they suppress?
I believe that nature handles that scenario when it occurs, Herr Knight.
And how does it do that exactly?
In the wild, when a member of society does not conform, he is hunted down and executed. End of mutant instinct. And its genetic bloodline.
Tell me about the other club members.
Oh, they're all right. Don't worry about Von Zell. He's a bastard to everyone these days.
PMS?
I don't know what his problem is. Oh, he's always been an arrogant bastard, competitive on the hunts, ambitious,
But still, aren't we all? He was decent enough at one time. In fact, he was Von Glora's favorite. And he was an asset as a friend. But things change.
Things change.
And what about the other club members?
Like who?
Henneman, for example. I've heard he's in line for a position extremely high up in the government.
Henneman, he is a drunk. His days as a political superstar are over. My friends at the courthouse tell me that he has been marked for early retirement. One less politician to worry about, huh?
Let's hear some more about Von Zell.
When did Von Zell begin to change?
Oh, he's been getting worse for a long time. I remember a hunting trip about a year ago. That was the last time I remember that we were all together and having a good time. He must have started getting difficult after that.
Seems like you've pretty much written Von Zell off yourself. Any particular reason?
Look, it's one thing when he insults the rest of us. But when he insults a baron, no. I heard him arguing once. When Glover told Von Zell he did acted stupidly about something or the other, Von Zell was furious.
What'd he say?
He told the baron that he was weak. Bastard.
Apologies for the sound.
I don't know why the baron didn't get away with it. I mean, I would have said something at the time, but, well, it was a private conversation.
When was this?
I don't know, 5, 6 weeks ago?
So a heated argument 6 weeks ago, that's...
How was Von Zell an asset as a friend?
He is a banker.
Are you saying he loaned you money?
He's always willing to help out his good friends.
Why would anyone in this club need money? I thought y'all were models of success.
Yes, well, fortunately, I took less advantage of Von Zell's hospitality than some.
Okay, let's try to drop the Black Wolf.
Have you ever heard of the Black Wolf?
Yes.
Really, where?
Oh, I don't know. Just sounds familiar.
Will you tell me if you remember?
Of course.
The reinforcements have arrived. Now you'll have someone new to probe, Herr Knight.
My brilliant man, good cheer to you both. Where's the beer?
Guten Abend, mein Herr. Good evening.
Guten Abend.
Biersteins.
Wo wieder eine Steine messen,
Ja.
Und Von Zell.
Abend.
Meine kleine Familie. How are you all this evening? Hello. Gabriel, I'm glad you could join us.
I need to speak with the baron. Enjoy your evening, Herr Knight.
Thanks. I will.
Baron, may I speak to you for a minute?
What is it, Bryce?
Okay. So, club evening. Let's start with seeing if we can listen in on this conversation.
Hey,
Can I join you in a moment, Gabriel? Price and I are almost finished.
okay. I'll be around.
The thing is, let's talk with the gentleman in the bar.
Ich habe meinen Nachmittagstermin abgesagt. Wir treffen uns hier um 4 Uhr.
Ja, so viel ich weiß. Ja, so, good evening, Herr Knight.
Hanneman, Von Agner?
You care to join us?
Sure. Thanks.
Okay, let's have some chat with him.
I've spoken to several of the club members today, but I haven't had a chance to speak with you yet, Herr Von Agner.
How tragic. No one in this club talks better than I do.
Oh, true, very true.
Perhaps tomorrow?
I'd be delighted.
Hanneman.
I haven't had a chance to get to know you yet, Herr Hanneman.
Well, I'm already beyond serious conversation tonight, I'm afraid.
He's been here.
Tomorrow's fine.
I have been here for 2 minutes. I'm already pissed drunk.
Have you guys heard about the mutilation killing last night? Happened right around the corner.
Awful, simply awful.
I'd meant to get a newspaper, but the time got away from me. Do you have any details?
A few. The victim was a man named Grossberg. He ran a furrier business in town.
Horrible. You know, this zoo wolf business is inexcusable. The mayor has been spoken to, and quite seriously. Even the prime minister is concerned.
Did you know Grossberg, Herr Von Agner?
Me? Grossberg? Why, no. Why do you ask?
I just thought you're both in the animal processing business.
Munich is a big city, Herr Knight.
So it is. Well, I was just curious.
He's lying.
So what were y'all talking about when I came up?
Tomorrow's little excursion. Will you be joining us?
Our monthly hunting trip.
A hunt trip? Really, where?
Our lodge is at Eppenberg. It's in the Bavarian National Forest. We leave tomorrow afternoon.
Well, gosh, you know, that sounds great, but I need to have my gun cleaned and...
Oh, there are plenty of guns at the lodge.
Yeah, Von Eigner, perhaps the Baron did not mean for Herr Knight to join us quite so soon.
Oh, hell, why not? Baron?
Von Agner?
Our hunting trip tomorrow. Will our new American friend be going with us?
Herr Knight? Well, I don't see why he
Of course
could...
not. He's not a club member. He's probably not even registered with the license office.
Nonsense, Gar. The sooner we get to see his technique, the better. We'll just slip him in, and he can register properly when we get back.
But that's not legal.
Since when do you care about legalities? It's only a hunting license?
I agree. I would enjoy Gabriel's presence very much.
No doubt.
Well, enough said. The Baron should certainly get whatever he wants, shouldn't he? Perhaps it will be an interesting exercise at that.
Awkward! Well, fun cell. Let's go have a talk.
Yes, Herr Knight?
So, how's it going?
How's it going?
Fine. Would you excuse us, please? We are discussing something private.
Oh, sure.
Okay. Let's disturb them again. Hello.
Yes, Herr Knight?
What are you two kids talking about?
What are you two kids talking about?
We could share it with you, Mr. Knight. But then we'd have to kill you.
Baron von Zell?
I'm just kidding, Doctor. I'm afraid our discussion is private, Mr. Knight. Run along now. We'll play with you later.
Can't wait.
The Amerikaner.
Yeah, he's not a fan. I'm gonna go over there again now. Yes, Herr Knight?
Yes, Herr Knight?
Let's ask what's new.
What's new?
You're getting annoying, Mr. Knight.
I am? Sorry, I thought this was, a social occasion. I'll just go talk to somebody else.
You know what all good times for? Yes, Herr Knight?
Yes, Herr Knight?
I just wanted to grab a magazine.
Just wanted to grab a magazine.
Then grab one.
Grab it. Grab it real good.
Thanks.
Oh, he is...
Sicher ist kein Reiter.
He's not good at grabbing magazines. So, we have a magazine.
I can't read it. It's in German.
It's Der Spiegel. Nothing to do with Der Spiegel. Just take the magazine and then put the tape recorder inside.
That's a thought.
Yeah.
I hid the tape recorder inside the magazine.
Yeah. Can't be seen at all. Now we just place it back.
Just wanted to put this magazine back. It wasn't very good. I wouldn't recommend it.
I hate you, Herr Knight.
Immer so.
Mm-hmm.
Herr Baron.
Gentlemen, excuse me, please.
I apologize for not getting to you sooner. Have you been enjoying yourself?
Oh, it's been loads of fun.
Good. I'm glad you're going with us tomorrow. We don't get started until the afternoon, so won't have to worry about staying up late tonight.
I have to warn you, my hunting's kind of rusty.
I'm sure you'll do just fine.
Was? I demand to know what you're doing at this club.
Me?
Baron von Zell. Really?
Are you aware that this guest of yours has been asking intimate questions? Poking around in our personal affairs? He must be a reporter. Or the police.
What do we have to fear from a reporter or the police? Although I can promise you, Herr Knight is neither.
You don't care that he's prying into our private business? What possible motive could he have?
Gar! Please. He's my guest. You're the one who's turning that into an inquisition.
Then it is on your head.
Awkward.
I apologize for that.
You keep defending me. I'm not exactly helping the harmony around here.
Believe me, the harmony was shattered a long time before you came. Von Zell gets territorial. I'm tired of it, frankly.
Well, I should go anyway. I wanted to clean up before tonight.
All right.
Good night, everyone.
Oh,
Good enough
night,
tonight.
night.
I should be home soon.
What's up, Gabriel? It's a predator! Yes, the Schattenjäger talisman. That protects him. Okay. Chapter 4! Here we go! Okay. Okay. So here we go. Second day as Grace. Let's head down. Gerda's not there.
I wonder what Gerda's up to. I wonder.
Yeah, let's go down to town because we know we have a letter for Gabriel waiting for us. Yeah, let's go. Oh, code theme. All right, heading to town. Here we go. So, post office first.
Guten Tag.
Grüß Gott, Frau Nakimura. Ich habe etwas für Sie.
Oh, it's from Gabriel.
Ja, das ist vom Schattenjäger. Ja.
No, I think you... Gabriel is a working partner and... Never mind. Danke.
Bitte, brauchen Sie noch etwas?
No, I think that's all right.
Danke.
Bitte.
All of a sudden, it was like ice between us. Danke, bitte. All right, let's see what Mr. Knight says.
Gracie, you decided to come over. That's great. Guten Tag and all that. I'm sure you and Gertie are hitting it off. Thanks for finding the werewolf book. I'm not sure what it all means, but it might be useful. But Ludwig II, you know, I think you might have something there. Ubergrau says there are 2 places you should check out. Ludwig had a castle called New Swan something, and there's a museum about him at Year in Chemistry. Something like that. I really think you should spend some time looking into it. Don't worry. Things are going very smoothly this time around. I've tracked a suspect to a hunt club run by a man named Von Glauer. He seems okay, but I'm sure there's something going on with at least one of the others. Don't worry, though. I met a police detective named Lieber, so I have backup. I'll be finished soon. Sit tight and enjoy your visit till I get there. Gabriel.
What does he think? I'm on vacation here? And no address. Thank you very much, Mr. Knight.
Okay. New Swan something and Here in Chemistry. Let's see if we can get something about that. Maybe the pub owner. Oh yeah, we have those 2 amazing characters that knocked on our door the other night. Let's have a talk with them.
Hello there, dear.
Hi, I'm Grace Nakamura from the castle. Am I interrupting?
Heavens, no.
Have a seat, Miss Nakamura.
Well, I might. For a moment.
Isn't this nice? We just finished our breakfast. Do you want something?
No, thanks.
Good for you. I can never turn down food myself. Now you just tell us all about it, Sugar Pie.
No, we want to hear about you.
You mentioned the other night that you were a demonologist. What is that exactly?
Well, it's not as bad as it sounds, honey. What Emma and I really do is to help protect people.
Protect them from what?
Well, do you believe in the devil, Miss Nakamura?
I believe in good and evil, if that helps.
Oh, but Satan and his demons are real, and they will attack the living, and most folks don't know what to do once they've been attacked. We try to help protect people.
How can you protect people from demons?
The best protection is faith in God, of course. But sometimes faith isn't enough. Sometimes we have to delve into the supernatural in order to protect others. Your Schottenjoggers are just the same.
We are? I mean, he is?
Of course. The warriors of light are rare these days, but they do exist all around the globe.
That's interesting. I just read about a group called Manos del Sol in Brazil. So the Ritters aren't the only Schottenjägers.
Well, they're probably the only ones to use that title, but others have been chosen for the battle.
Okay. Let's see if they know something about Ludwig.
Do you know anything about King Ludwig II?
Sure, we saw his castles, didn't we, Mother?
We sure did. Why do you ask?
Well, I found a letter in the Schottenjäger library warning Ludwig about the Black Wolf.
Who wrote the letter?
One of Gabriel's ancestors, a Schottenjäger.
Seems like whoever was using me as a megaphone helped you find that letter. Perhaps you should follow the path something's pointing at. Look into Ludwig.
I intend to.
I intend to, the Black Wolf.
The other night you said something about the Black Wolf. What did you mean? Where did you hear that name?
I wasn't the one talking.
I don't understand.
Well, that's quite all right. The point is, it would be a very good idea to answer those questions, and we must work together to do so. Of course I'll help you, Pumpkin. I'd like to know myself, wouldn't I? It isn't every day one's taken over by a disembodied spirit, and I don't much care for it, thank you.
You're not talking about a seance, are you?
Oh, heavens no.
Thank God.
Emma's right. I'm much better at tarot cards. I can read for you or for someone else if you prefer.
Are you sure you don't know anything about the Black Wolf?
I never did, dear. I told you. Really, you mustn't confuse the vessel with the voice. All I remember was seeing a very bright flash like lightning. Next thing I knew, Em'll have me outside. Whatever it was very powerful. Very powerful.
All right, let's see if we can get a tarot reading.
Well, I guess it wouldn't hurt to do my tarot reading.
Don't you worry now. I know what I'm doing.
Obviously.
Push your vital energies into the cards. This is your soul card. That which applies to all of your lifetimes. It's the Empress. Oh, that's a good one.
What's it mean?
It means that your soul's journey is one of leadership. There's great strength here and intelligence. This card represents what you're like in this lifetime. It's the Chariot. Self-discipline, control. You need to feel you have a plan, that you're testing your abilities. The Chariot's very masculine. In combination with the Empress, it tells me that you're currently exploring your male side. You will seek out great achievement, but it does have its price.
Doesn't sound anything like me.
Yes, dear. The third card represents the other. You've pulled the Magician. Who is he, dear?
Excuse me?
Your other, the Magician. Oh, this is a very powerful card. Major Arcana.
My other?
Everyone has an other. Let's see. I bet it's the Schottenjäger. What's his name?
The Schottenjäger? Gabriel Knight.
A name of power. He is powerful, this one. The Magician is dexterous and cunning, mischievous and manipulate.
That's Gabriel, all right.
And very strong with magical and occult powers. Now this is interesting because your card, the Chariot, is all logic and reasoning, while his, the Magician, is spiritual and intuitive. You two are quite a pair. The fourth card shows what you're trying to achieve at this moment, your immediate destiny. It's the Strength or Lust card.
Lust?
Not that kind of lust, dear. It's a trial card, finding the strength to continue some difficult journey. It also represents the integration of conflicting energies. That must be your Chariot and his Magician energies. Strength also means bonding those energies, loving without judgment, learning to love the beast. What is this trial, dear? Do you know?
Well, Gabriel and I are involved with the case right now.
It will be a hard time. You must let your love give you power. Use the positive energy of your union or you may not succeed.
I think you have the wrong idea. Gabriel and I just work together.
Yes, dear. But if I might just suggest, when you're facing negative forces, the positive energy of love is a very vital weapon. You make yourself vulnerable when you resist your own tools.
Well, that's been helpful.
I hope so, dear.
Okay. We might have some more about Gabriel's tarot.
Maybe we should do a reading for Gabriel.
Oh, let's! It's a little like spying on someone unawares, but what the heck?
Okay, let's see.
Reach out to the cards and to think about his essence. His soul card is the Magician. Yes, dear, it reflects your other exactly.
Well, maybe, but I'd rather hold out for David Copperfield.
And his lifetime card? Oh, goodness. The Lovers.
You mean the sole purpose of his life is in his pants? Doesn't surprise me.
It's not what you think, dear. It's a duality card. As a lifetime card, it refers to Gabriel's own duality. good versus evil, physical pleasure versus spiritual growth, that kind of thing. His challenge is to integrate the conflicting parts of himself. Until he does, he'll never find peace. And you will find peace when you acknowledge all of him. Find a way to love the worst as you already love the best.
You're really reaching.
Mother.
His other is the High Priestess.
Let me guess. That's me, right?
No, dear, it's not. The High Priestess represents psychic mysteries, deep wisdom. This is a very different energy from your earthy one. This must be our connection. To the voice, dear! Someone is trying to communicate with Gabriel. This force is represented by the High Priestess.
That's not much help. What about the Black Wolf?
But it is a help, dear. The High Priestess is a spiritual guide card if ever there was one. The message must have been a warning.
If this force is connected to Gabriel, and if he's so very psychic, then why doesn't it just go to him? Why say it to me?
Maybe Gabriel's blocked. Maybe he's purposefully blocking. There is that duality business. Let's go on and see if it becomes clear. The fourth card, remember, represents the current situation. It's death.
Uh-oh.
Oh. Nothing to worry about then.
Now you just leave interpretation up to me, Sugar Pie. It's a transformation card, dying to one thing and being born to another. It is painful, but it isn't necessarily bad. Two of Wands. Oh my.
What?
A 2 is not good here. Wands is Mars in Aries. That's a war card. In conjunction with the death card, there are 2 possible transformations.
2 transformations?
Yes, dear. Gabriel is waging a spiritual battle. The transformation might be good or evil. That must be the purpose of the High Priestess. She's trying to guide him.
So you think he really might be in danger?
Oh, yes, dear. Gabriel's very essence is at stake. If he takes the wrong path with his powers, Imola and I will stay in town. You must let me know if anything else happens that we can read for clues. Let the Force use you.
Use the Force, Grace.
I'd better go.
Anytime you need us, stop by.
And be careful now.
Thanks.
Okay. Very, very interesting. Let's talk to our friend here.
Herr Huber?
Yes?
I was wondering if you've changed your mind about telling me where Gabriel is. It's really important.
No. Sorry.
Thanks.
Bitte.
But maybe if I show him the letter. No, show her the letter. It is the right thing, yeah?
Gracie.
We already had that. Neuschwanstein. Okay. Let us speak to the mayor real quick. Don't think you have much to say to him. He's
Guess
not
they're
here.
closed.
It must be Sunday. Right. Let's go and see if what happens in the church. Oh, Gertie.
Gerda's here. I wonder what she's up to.
Gerda was in love with Wolfgang.
Yeah, Grace, you might have misinterpreted the situation.
Boy, do I feel stupid or what?
Grace Nakamura.
I really should apologize, but I don't want to interrupt her.
Yeah, we leave.
I wonder what kind of flowers these are.
Yeah, good question. Let's try to go back to the castle and see if Gerda comes up.
Gerda's at the church.
Yeah. But of course we don't want to disturb her. Maybe we call our friend, the doctor, or we find something about Ludwig.
I wish I could read these biographies of Ludwig. Wait a minute. Ludwig II, fairy tale king of Bavaria. I didn't see this before. Yep, English. Huh.
It is my book now. All right, let's read about Ludwig. Oh yeah. There he is, fairy tale king of Bavaria.
Ludwig remained throughout his life both very bright and very naive. He was an introvert who seemed to be constantly out of sync with traditional views of rulership, money, and human relationships. The world ever failed to match his ideals. Perhaps this was a fault of his sheltered upbringing as future king. He never was introduced to the real world, and the real world failed to interest him as an adult. In his youth, Ludwig was in fine physical condition and loved to hike alone in the Alps and ride horses. He had a hunting lodge, Schahen, specifically for this purpose. Unfortunately, in 1872, a rather traumatic hunting accident befell the king at Schahen, and his leg was cruelly damaged. He never fully recovered from this incident, and his hiking and riding ceased. His physical health deteriorated from that time on, and explains why he looked so unhealthy in later years.
A hunting accident?
Mm-hmm.
Other than his long-standing friendship with the Empress Elizabeth of Austria and with his mother, the relationships Ludwig attempted with others were nearly always a disappointment for him and a bewilderment for his partners. He would become obsessed with someone, a singer, an artist, a nobleman or a peasant, and would bombard them with gifts, praise, and favors. When they would fail to return the depths of rapturous passion he required, the singular adoration and humble obedience he expected, he would grow disappointed and cut himself off from them. The objects of his interest were occasionally women, usually ones he fell in love with after seeing them in idealized roles on the stage, but they were more often young men who fit his fantasies of the heroic sagas like Lohengrin and Parsifal that he so loved.
Yeah?
A good example of the king's obsessive behavior in relationships is the following letter from the Königlich Bayerische archives, which this author was privileged to access. It is dated 1864, and it was written by Ludwig's manservant, Paul, to a friend. The king has been in high mood these days. The reason, of course, is a new interest. Thursday last, the king attended a performance of Lohengrin in the Wittelsbacher Theater. He came back in a fever, demanding that a man be found. The man, it was gathered, had been sitting in a box across from Ludwig and had drawn the king's attention by his beauty and his deep emotional response to the performance. The king declared that here at last is a sensitive soul. The man was tracked down and brought in for an audience. Upon my word, never have I seen any mind so in line with His Majesty's own. They discussed Wagner and France and Byron and all manner of things until long past dawn. The young man, beautiful indeed to look upon, met the king's enthusiasm and knowledge bit for bit. His Majesty has been in the thick of it ever since, and while I welcome his good temper, I grow tired of fetching letters back and forth to Louis, so called by his Majesty, that should tell you who the young man looks like, at all hours of the night. This author has not been able to learn much about Louis, but he was known to have been a seemingly high-bred foreigner, and he was involved with Ludwig as late as 1880, when he fell into disfavor. The king, especially later in life, felt a great deal of guilt about his sensual nature. His diaries are full of repentant entries begging God for forgiveness and swearing to remain pure. In many of the diary entries, he swears to abstain from sexual relations. The number of these oath entries indicate that Ludwig was not very successful in resisting temptation, yet it is also clear that Ludwig was a God-fearing man and that, though his flesh might occasionally fall, he never surrendered his heart and his conscience to sin.
Okay, chapter 6. No, that's it. Very, very curious.
I'll write to Gabriel, soon as I have enough info to blow his little investigation out of the water.
Let's call our friend.
Professor Barclay will call when he finds out something.
Right. Okay. Let's see if Gertie has returned. No, not yet. And this was it about it. Yeah, that's all we can read from this book. Actually, let me just check the library real quick, so I am sure that I didn't miss something.
Nothing else I can use in the biography section. There's nothing else on werewolves in the occult section. I'm not sure what other case books would be relevant.
Right. Nothing.
Nice view of the Alps.
Can we go to the secret room?
I don't want to go back into Gerda's bedroom. She might catch me in there.
We go outside here with the roses. For Gertie, of course. As an apology. Very good.
They're beautiful, but they won't last long in my coat.
No. Let us... Oh yeah, that was the wrong way. Ja. turn? No. Let's go to her in the church and give her the flowers. Code theme. Let's skip it this time. Okay, to the church we go.
That's better, don't you think? I'm so sorry. I was an idiot.
Gabriel and I, we never...
I know. It's my fault. It's Gabriel's fault. He never tells me anything. I don't know why he didn't want me on this case.
Maybe he just...
Don't even try to make excuses for him. Still, he's up to his neck in it, I think. Will you help me out with something?
Of course.
I have to do some research on Ludwig. I want to go see some of his castles.
Take Gabriel's car. There's a map of southern Bavaria in the car. Ludwig's castles are all marked.
Thanks.
Good luck.
That felt good.
I think she wants to be left alone.
So hopefully now the air has been cleared and we can actually go explore. Car keys. There we go. Okay, so here we have the Ludwig Museum, something, and Neuschwanstein. Okay, let's go to Neuschwanstein first. There it is. So pretty. I was there this very weekend. So I have actually seen this castle in real life, and yeah, it was also where I proposed to my girlfriend. So I definitely now have a relationship to this place. So yeah, that's it. Let's go and explore Neuschwanstein. Yeah. Been here as well, so you can listen to the tour tape.
Our tour begins in the entry hall. Ludwig II lived from 1845 to 1886. He assumed the Bavarian throne at the age of 18 when his father died. Ludwig's passion was building castles. He built 3 during his lifetime: Linderhof, Herrenchiemsee, and Neuschwanstein. Plans for a 4th castle, Falkenstein, were underway when he died. In addition to his obsession with building, Ludwig also had a passion for classical heroic German mythology, a taste he shared with the German opera composer Richard Wagner. Neuschwanstein is decorated throughout with themes from these stories, most of which directly relate to Wagner's operas.
Yeah. continue on the tour. Let's do that.
The closed door leads to the tower, which is not part of the tour. The king was making his way to this very door when he was arrested in 1886.
Yeah, he was arrested in the bedroom, if I recall the tour correctly.
You are now standing in the king's bedroom. The theme of the bedroom is Tristan and Isolde, the tragic love story retold in Wagner's opera. The opera was given its first performance in Munich in 1865, and a 20-year-old Ludwig attended. This is probably the most elaborate and expensive bedroom ever created. It took 14 woodcarvers 4.5 years to create this room. It was this kind of extravagance that bankrupted the king. In the years before his death, he found it increasingly difficult to find money from any source.
Yeah, it is, I can now say from having seen this in real life, extremely extravagant. It's, yeah, quite overwhelming actually. Yeah, we just need the guards to shift. Go here.
This is Ludwig's private chapel. The king was a devout Catholic, as were all of the Wittelsbacher rulers. They supported the Roman Church even when other European countries were dominated by Protestantism.
The Black Madonna of Altadine. I wonder what her story is all about.
The stained glass window depicts St. Louis receiving the last sacraments.
All right.
It's a beautiful crucifix.
Let's go to the other room here.
This is the king's living room. The walls are decorated with scenes from the Lohengrin saga. The king first saw Wagner's opera Lohengrin when he was 16, and it so affected him that he considered it a form of enlightenment. The tragedy of Lohengrin was his essential loneliness. This too was Ludwig's own fate. Ludwig withdrew more and more into his fantasy world of epic heroes and absolute monarchy. An ideal he was determined to create in his castles if he could not have it in his real life. He only wanted to be alone with his dreams, so much so that even his servants were kept at a distance and were not allowed to look at him.
What were you afraid they'd see?
Yeah. They're building an entire castle and it's just for him. Alright, let's look at the picture here.
The miracle of the Grail.
Yep.
The swan motif is featured throughout the castle, but it is particularly prominent in this room. Both the swan and the lily were symbols Ludwig associated with himself. They represented his ideals of majesty and purity. The painting behind the swan shows Lohengrin's arrival.
Yeah.
More swans.
And then there is also the grotto in the castle.
This is a reproduction of the grotto from the Tannhäuser saga. In such places, Ludwig could pretend he was one of his beloved mythic heroes. As the grotto personifies, the castles were solitary playgrounds built for Ludwig alone. He believed the masses were too coarse to appreciate fine art, and he seldom entertained guests. In fact, Ludwig had a standing order that upon his death, the castles were to be destroyed. Fortunately, the estate was in such debt that the castles were opened for paying tours only weeks after Ludwig's death. They haven't closed since. It is one of the great ironies of Ludwig's story that the castles that he was thought insane for building are now considered Bavaria's finest treasures. They have paid for their construction many times over.
the garden, then we can leave.
This is the king's study. Ludwig spent much time at his desk, writing letters, drawing up plans for his projects, and studying his favorite authors. He loved poetry, history, and the classics. In later years, he also studied the occult. What affairs of state he did reluctantly attend to were generally attended to alone at his desk in writing. His reluctance to meet with his heads of state and perform the duties of the king were one of the reasons for the charges brought against him in 1886. But Ludwig dreamt of true kingship and a true monarchy, and the small powers left to him after Bavaria's succeeded power to Prussia only incited his disdain and frustration.
I wonder why he was studying the occult before he died. I doubt there's anything left in there now. Besides, the guard would kill me if I touched it.
The study paintings depict scenes from the Tannhäuser Saga and the Wartburg Castle. The study paintings depict scenes from the
Yeah? Oh, that was a grotto. Here we go.
This is the final room of our tour, the Singers' Hall. It was modeled after the Singers' Hall of the Wartburg Castle, where minstrel competitions were held in the 13th century. The hall was built for small private concerts, but Ludwig himself never gave one here. It is said that during the last few years of Wagner's life, he came to Neuschwanstein frequently and performed for the king alone in this room. The hall is probably best known for its enigmatic wolf paintings. The original paintings were from the Parsifal saga, but in 1882, Ludwig had them replaced, supplying the description and titles of the new paintings himself. While all the other rooms in the castle show scenes from Wagner's operas, the scenes in this room are not from any opera that anyone can identify. It is yet another of the many mysteries associated with the life of the fairy tale king.
And I can now say that part with the unknown paintings, that is fabrication. It is the pictures of the Parsifal operas that are in here as well, but they have used this to make it a little, to fit more into the the story. So yeah.
Engelhart and the Blacksmith.
Yeah.
Engelhart courts Hildegunde. The hunters track down Engelhart and Hildegunde.
There must be a story behind these wolf paintings, but what story?
The wedding feast of Hildegunde and the Baron. The death of Engelhart.
Oh, look at this, yeah.
Nice view of the Alps.
Ludwig's childhood castle, Hohenschwangau, is visible from the lookout in the Singers' Hall.
Nice view of the Alps.
Yeah, there's the other castle. All right. That was Neuschwanstein. Very, very interesting. And for me personally, having visited it only a few days ago. So yeah, let us go here. Oh, that's Rittersberg, of course. Yeah, let's just go again. We have much more to do. Yeah, so of course we can't drive from Munich, so yeah. Herren Chiemsee, the Ludwig Museum.
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag.
Ich hätte gern eine Eintrittskarte fürs Museum.
Ja, 8 Mark für eine Ganztagskarte.
All day.
So.
Danke.
Bitte.
I don't know why that was so unpleasant, but hey, here we go. All right, let's look at the murals.
July 3rd, 1863. Elizabeth, you can have no idea, dear cousin, how happy you made me. The hours recently passed with you in the railway carriage I consider among the happiest in my life. Never will their memory fade. You gave me permission to visit you at Ischl. If the time comes for this ardent hope to be fulfilled, I shall be of all men upon earth the most blessed. The feelings of sincere love and reverence and faithful attachment to you, which I cherished in my heart even as a boy, makes me imagine heaven upon earth and will be extinguished by death alone. I beg you with all my heart to forgive the contents of this letter, but I could not help myself. Ludwig.
Okay.
Elizabeth frequently gave Ludwig advice on royal conduct, hoping to protect him from unfavorable public opinion. March 1st, 1865. My dearest Eagle, you have not written me in a few months. I have missed you. I often try to imagine what you are doing. I hear tales that you have been on retreat and have not been seen in Munich for some time. I suspect it is this new friend you wrote up so mysteriously that takes you away from home. I hope you are enjoying yourself, my beloved, but I beg you to caution. The people need to see you at the throne. I also hesitate to suggest that what your officials do in your absence may not always be in your own best interest. You have always been a true king, but you must let the people see you to ensure that they don't forget that. E. Your dove.
Yeah. This new friend that he's in, that is probably also fabrication, but much of this is actually real history. And it is real about Ludwig and his secludedness. He wasn't a very particularly good king, but has produced some of the legacy that is still being celebrated in Bavaria. All right, let's see the next letter.
Ludwig's friends were concerned for his mental state long before his arrest. June 14th, 1878. My beloved Eagle, in your last letter you spoke so movingly of your torment that I was moved to tears. What is this torment? Why won't you confess to me what is truly troubling you? You must know that I would never despise you, no matter how horrible you believe your sins to be. Please do not write such barbs to my heart by even suggesting such things. If you do not wish to confess to me, at least tell me how I can aid you. I am always your true one, your dove. In this letter, dated November 1886, Elizabeth of Austria thanks Bishop Frank for his assistance in helping her fulfill Ludwig's last wishes. She writes that she knows it was an unusual request, but she believes Ludwig had reasons of his own for wishing it to be done. She hopes that his spirit finds peace at last. No further reference to this letter has ever been found. One can only speculate what the last wishes of a cornered and embattled Ludwig might have been. What were his last wishes?
Indeed.
This place is giving me more questions than answers.
What were his last wishes? Indeed, that is very interesting. This is probably the Elizabeth, the dove.
She's beautiful. One of Ludwig's few close friends was Empress Elizabeth of Austria. She was a distant cousin of the boy Prince, and he saw her often growing up. Graceful and beautiful, Elizabeth seemed to represent the feminine ideal to the younger Ludwig. Their friendship continued after her marriage, mainly by correspondence. She remained a source of stability for Ludwig throughout his life. In keeping with Ludwig's love of romance and drama, he called her the Dove, and he to her was the Eagle.
Yeah. What do we have over here? There we go. The last days.
June 7th, 1886. A group of men arrive at Neuschwanstein Castle demanding to take the king in custody. With them is Dr. Guden, the doctor who had been in charge of Otto, the king's mentally ill brother. The men have an order for the king's arrest on the grounds of insanity. They are refused admittance by a brave group of farmers and local soldiers who have come to Ludwig's aid. They are forced to retreat to nearby Hohenschwangau. This is the first Ludwig hears of the conspiracy. Ludwig composes a pamphlet explaining the subversive acts of the conspirators and eloquently pleading with his people for aid. The pamphlet is smuggled out of Neuschwanstein and printed, but the pamphlets are seized before they can be distributed.
Okay.
June 12, 1886. Ludwig knows the conspirators will return. He despairs. He asks his servant for the keys to the tower. The servant, fearing the king intends suicide, says the key is lost. Unbeknownst to Ludwig, the conspirators arrive at the castle. This time, there is no one to stop them. Ludwig is lured from his bedroom to the entry hall of Neuschwanstein on pretense. There, he is taken into custody. Ludwig is taken by carriage from Neuschwanstein to Berg, where his brother Otto had long been imprisoned. This is a great blow to the king's state of mind. While on the way, the group stops at Sieshaupt to change horses. Ludwig asks to see the postmistress, Frau Vogel. She brings him a glass of water and he says something to her. She never reveals these last words to anyone.
Curious.
June 13th, 1886. At Berg, Ludwig seems cooperative and coherent. Dr. Guden writes to the government that he has Ludwig well under control. The two men go out for a walk, and Dr. Guden is so confident he dismisses the guards. When Ludwig and the doctor do not return after several hours, a search is undertaken. The bodies of the two men are found in the lake, drowned. Circumstances unknown. June 18th, 1886. Ludwig's funeral procession marches through the streets of Munich, followed by enormous crowds of mourners. The service is held at a packed St. Michael's church. Lightning strikes the church during the service, but no one is harmed. Ludwig's body is entombed in the Wittelsbach crypt at St. Michael's. His heart is placed in an urn in the pilgrimage chapel at Altading in the Wittelsbach tradition. The urn is shown to the right. His heart is in an urn. How bizarre. June 18th, Ludwig's body.
Okay. Very, very interesting.
I have no idea what that says. Looks old, though.
Yeah, let's see here.
Oh my god. That's the slate for my dream.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe Mrs. Smith will know what my dream meant. I have to ask someone. This thing is getting too weird. The midnight sleigh rides. Ludwig went on long sleigh rides in the middle of the night, particularly in his later years. It is said that he suffered from insomnia, headaches, and toothaches, and the rides soothed his restlessness. The sight of the king's grand sleigh speeding through the countryside of the Alps often startled the peasants and became a superstitious omen of ill fortune. I can see why. But what was he doing out there at night?
I also think this part of history is fabrication. But, yeah.
Ludwig embarking on his sleigh. Ludwig's death mask. Wow. Ludwig is Prince Charming. He played the part well.
Yeah, good-looking guy. Can we talk to her?
Guten Tag.
Guten Tag.
Ist das die Ludwig Museum?
Ja, ja. Ludwig der Zweite von Bayern.
Yeah, that's it. That was the museum. So, quite a character. Let's head back to Rittersberg and ask Mrs. Smith about the dream. Yeah, let's go in here. Bierstube. Oh, where are they?
Are the Smiths in their room?
Ja, I believe so.
Could you ask them to come down, please?
Ja, natürlich.
Now you just tell Merle what's going on.
Okay, the dream.
I had a dream last night. I didn't remember it at first, but I saw something today at one of the museums.
What was the dream?
I was being chased in the woods by wolves. And I saw a sleigh. Ludwig was inside. He pulled me up, and I thought I was safe. But then he turned into a wolf.
So what do you think, Mother?
A dream of rescue is a spiritual guide dream. The High Priestess in Gabriel's cards must be linked to Ludwig somehow.
What do the wolves represent?
I'm a psychic, dear, not Freud. But the warning I got was about the black wolf, wasn't it? And the wolves in the dream. It must be the same danger.
It's so frustrating. The more I find out, the more questions I have.
Why don't you try a little communicating of your own? Ludwig's the link. Appeal to him. The answers may not come right away, but at least you'll give the guide something specific to say the next time she contacts you.
Isn't there any way that you could, do a psychic reading on Ludwig or something?
To tell you the truth, I've been trying all day to make contact, but I only feel great despair. Ludwig's soul is not at peace.
I'd better go.
Anytime you need us, stop by.
And be careful now.
Thanks.
So we need to communicate with the ghost of Ludwig. So one thought is that he was calling himself the lily, and maybe that's the flowers that bloom here next to the church.
I wonder what kind of flowers these are. A ticket to the Ludwig Museum.
Is Gertie still in the church? Great.
Those look better. Those look
Good. Then I can speak to her at the castle. Now she's hopefully a little bit more... Now that the air between her and Grace has been cleared, then maybe she'll be willing to talk.
Hi, Gerda. I'm back. Good.
Okay, let's do it.
Gerda,
Yes.
Have you heard from Gabriel at all?
No, Grace, I'm sorry.
Never mind. I'm not sure why she...
No.
I already have the address.
What is this?
4th of March, I have heard that the one...
This is the Christian Ritter letter. Don't need to read that again. Let's see if we get a call from the professor if we go up.
Nothing else I can use in the biography section. There's nothing... I'm not sure...
Maybe we can write Gabriel now? Or he still has questions and everything.
I'll write to Gabriel.
Yeah, not yet. Okay, let's go and see the dungeon in the town. So the guy just left his toolbox here. Let's go into town and got down to the dungeon where they kept the old werewolf. Let's see if we can find anything.
That's the church in the square. Claw marks. Claw marks.
Yeah, the claw marks.
Von Rollick slept here.
Can't really use this for anything. So what to do? Maybe our friend here in the inn will know something.
I don't have anything to say to Herr Huber at the moment.
And the mayor's office is closed. Still. I also wouldn't really know what to say. Yeah. Let's try to drive a little bit out again. Back to the museum here. Still have a Tageskarte. Let's use the hint for each feature. Okay, so there's something to do all places. Right. Is there something in the museum that we haven't looked at yet?
Ludwig's death mask.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
December 14th, 1881, Linderhof. Order another work by Jennings on the occult. Write urgently to Klug, saying that I insist that the stoppages by the bank cease. I want it, and therefore it must be done. Write very urgently. He must succeed at once, and then must report to me urgently. If I give orders to clear my room, doing so must not be postponed as it happened. Pencils must be pointed without special orders. The day after tomorrow, 1,000 marks. How is Louis now? I want to know whether he looks unhappy. How often have I said that the coffee must not come up boiling hot, so that it can only be drunk after standing an hour? If any more correspondence come from Louis, they are to be burnt immediately, but I am to be informed of their arrival.
Okay.
These are actual notes from Ludwig to his servants. They go far in showing the king's state of mind. They were smuggled out and used as evidence in compiling the order for Ludwig's arrest. December 18th, 1881, Linderhof. Every day get up earlier for certain. See to that very particularly. Write it down. Remember that when the great friend arrives at Neuschwanstein, we retire to the hall. We are not to be disturbed. I will not tolerate interference or insubordination.
Yeah. I see. Okay. So I think we have emptied this well of information. Let's go to Neuschwanstein again and see if we can find ways to commute with Ludwig's ghost. Ah, so beautiful.
The paintings in this room are from the Siegfried Saga.
These scenes are from the Siegfried Saga.
So it seems. That's out again.
I don't think the guards want to be bothered while on duty.
Yes.
The richly carved bed, with its canopy, resembles a Gothic building in its turrets. The bed's draperies were handmade by dozens of Bavarian seamstresses.
Did they have running water in 1886? Did they?
Yeah.
Maybe Ludwig thought all this luxury would help him sleep.
No, he needed to go sleigh riding.
Scenes from the opera Tristan and Isolde. Scenes from the opera.
Isolde, right. What's that?
In the corner is a brown tiled stove with clay figures of Tristan and Isolde.
Okay. And then that's a chapel with stained glass windows we've already seen.
A king saint? I wonder if Ludwig pictured himself that way, or maybe he just wanted to be that way. A king saint?
The paintings above the altar depict Saint Louis surrounded by the seraphim. An interesting side note. For a period of about a year, the Louis images in all three castles were ordered to be covered up with black cloth on the unfathomable whim of the king.
A king's...
Yeah, okay. So everything about Louis XIV should be covered up.
The Black Madonna of Altadine. I wonder what her story is all about. These linens look seriously expensive and seriously old.
Yes, they probably are.
The Miracle of the Grape.
I've already seen that, yeah.
More swans.
And the grotto.
I can almost picture Ludwig in here. I wonder what he really dreamt about in this room.
Oh, that was wrong. We have already looked at all of this.
picked up a tour tape in English on my way in.
Ah, okay. Yeah, that is a good question. What might be the right move here? I think that will also have to be a case to be continued in the next episode. All right, there was a lot of history in this episode here. Really interesting, though. Ludwig II is a fascinating character, and if you ever find yourself in Bavaria, Neuschwanstein is most definitely worth a visit. Okay, I would like to say thank you to all of you for being with me here in this episode. Please like and subscribe and share the video around. And I will see you all in the next episode. Bye bye.